Hello, everybody. There's nobody here quite yet. Oh my word. Okay, let me do this. Get everything set up. Do this. Okay. Message. Chat. Hello, Carol. Just bear with me. Going through the routine. Let's see. I'm hoping that you won't hear the racket that's going on in the breezeway because the kids are out there making a bunch of noise instead of being inside and be, if they want to make noise, they can make noise in their own apartment. We don't all need to hear it. All right, just bear with me. I want this. Where's Terry? You in here, Terry? Okay, got that. Let's change this picture. No. This. Don't want that. Colors on. And save. All right. What is this? Oh, live streamers, we want to hear from you. Join YouTube user research to share your feedback and get gift cards for your participation. Oh, they want my feedback? Ooh, I don't think they'd want my feedback because I wouldn't have very nice things to say. What do I want? Need to copy this. What time is it? We got a little bit of time. I want this. And let's post this. And then what on? Okay, I don't understand what that's all about. I see a hello Froggy and Andrea. I will be on there in a second. I'm just adding no, I don't want that. I'm just adding, you know, the little detailed stuff that I have to do before I actually start on the projects. And I'm just about there. Okay. So I think we're good there now. Yep, we're all good there. So let me do away with that. And let me get my keyboard out of the way. Okay, let's see. Who do we got here? I see Becky and Carol and Andrea. Froggy. Where? Now, where? Oh, where? Where's Terry? I didn't see. She usually texts me to ask, are you going live tonight? She knows that I told her that we're oh, there's Yvonne. Hey Yvonne, go text your friend. I didn't hear from her. Oh, okay. I figured she's gonna be the first one here. And I drank some water from this really beautiful, humongous mug. Compliments of Terry. Even though my birthday was back in February, between her and Yvonne, they decided to pull me in. And what was that? Oh, yeah, that's my Elvis stitch. And he actually wiggles. There's batteries in it. There's no music, but he kind of like dances. I think the batteries are dead now. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah, but he wiggles. And then of course, Andrea, you remember Bucky. He was our companion. Okay, Froggy. We're just gonna do a little bit of housekeeping stuff. Let me see what I got here. Because all paper pumpkin and, excuse me, I gotta turn a fan on. Or better yet, hold on. Put the AC down a little bit for a little while. Because that way we don't hear the fan while I'm doing the video. So I did get, on the 30th of April, I did get the paper pumpkin video done. If you watched it, you would have seen the frustration that I had, that I made mention of, because I got through, I was doing the well, private live, and my phone, it was working fine. It kept saying that I was live, but the laptop, it was just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. So I got to the point that, yes, and when Buc-ee's opens, what, I think at some point next year, oh, we're going. I don't know if it'll be the actual day that it opens, because it'll be a complete madhouse. But, yeah. We are definitely gonna hit it up. But, yeah, for some reason, the laptop, the screen, it was just spinning. And when all was said and done, I went back. Now, the video itself said, you know, in the, not actually seeing it on YouTube, like where you, how you would see it, when I went to go and replay it, it only had like 28 minutes on it, and the video was actually 53. So I ended up redoing it, and it was shorter, but I don't know. YouTube, I don't know what's up with it, but they asked for my feedback. Yeah, not so good points I got for them, but you need a fan, Vaughn. Yeah, Andrea, that's Stitch. Lilo is the little girl. Okay. So we're gonna have more people coming in. We know Terry's coming. She's not gonna miss. I tell you what, it's hard to believe that a week ago today, around this time, actually I was waiting for them to reach out to me. We didn't all meet up quite yet. But yeah, she had gone home, was it early Thursday morning? Missed her. I mean, we missed her not much after she left, but yeah, that was fun on Saturday. I mean, knowing that it was only going to be a kind of live that Friday, I wanted to at least give you a live, plus not only that, let all of you meet Terry. And you can see, you can tell, she's a hoot. We love her. And I don't see Tracy in here yet. Tracy had mailed her birthday card to me to give to her while she was here. Well, if you watch this later on, Tracy, or if you're not, or if you're here or whatever, I still haven't gotten the card. Now, I kind of transitioned last week between the apartment address for my mail to the P.O. box. And I think it was like the day before or 2 days before in the informed delivery, it said that, you know, it showed your card was in the mail. However, I haven't seen it yet. So I'm thinking they must be holding on to my mail. And at some point, my mailbox will probably be full of mail. So as soon as that shows up, I will go ahead and I will send it out to her. And I'm really hoping that it's going to be soon, because I did get some of the new catalogs, and I'm going to mail one off to her, and I would like to be able to put that card in the same envelope to save on postage. Let's see. Hello, Deborah. Okay. We must be talking about the spreadsheet. Yeah, I do have that pinned up there at the top of the chat box, and we'll do a drawing for one of the cards that we do tonight. And again, if you got any problems, any issues getting your name put on there, just say something in the chat box, and we got some wonderful helpers that will get your name added there. Okay. Oh, Becky on the mailing list for the birthday. You know what? Let me see. What's the conversation between Froggy and Becky? Um, okay, Becky. Did I remember like when we first like started? When, I can't talk. When we brought up about uh, sending birthday cards to each other and being on a list with our, our names, our mailing addresses, and our birth date. I think I may have reached out to you and I didn't get a response. I mean, I did mail a card to you because I did draw your name when I did one of my Friday night lives. If you want to be on that list, I think all I need is your birth date because you would have emailed, excuse me, you would have emailed me, so to give me your address. So if you would like to be on there, just send me an email with your birth date. And what I'll do is I'll then send out the whole list of who's in there for doing birthdays, for birthday cards or thinking of you cards, things like that. And basically, the people that are on that list is who's here in the chat. Most of everybody that's in the chat, not everyone, but most. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so Becky, if you know what, if you can, because you would have emailed me for me to mail the card out to you. So if you can send me an email just with your birth date, and then what I'll do is I will email you that spreadsheet that has everybody's name, their address, and their birth date on it, okay? Let's see, and Tracy, am I like not seeing everybody here? I mean, I saw Yvonne said hi to Tracy, but, oh, there's Tracy. Yeah, Tracy, you had just missed, last week when I had to transition from them sending my mail here to the apartment to a P.O. box, like a day or two before, I did see in the informed delivery that you had a card for Terry, and I have yet to see that card in my mail, so I don't know if there's a certain amount of time before I start seeing it, but I've been pretty much checking the mail every day except for today. I didn't go out anywhere today, so it's coming, and as soon as it shows up, I will then take it and mail it off um, to Terry. So that card's really getting some mileage. Let's see, anybody else? I said hi to Deborah and Becky. Okay. And we don't have our Terry yet. Okay. That's okay. She'll be here. She won't miss the live. She looks forward to the lives. So, so what's been going on? Not a whole lot. Other than, Terry was here and she left on Thursday morning and we miss her already. Uh, what Tracy, through the informed delivery, I can see that you did address it to her, and you put a sticker over it with my address because I was able to see that, through the image. She'll get it. She'll definitely get the card. So don't worry about that. She's gonna get the card. Um, yes, we did have a good time, but it's just the trip was just very short. You know, you try to do a whole lot of stuff in a small amount of time, and yeah, the time just goes by way too fast. Uh, Hello, Stacy. Oh, by the way, Stacy, the card that you had picked from Saturday night, yesterday put that on your desk, so I didn't mail it out to you. I just put it on your desk. Probably get it a lot faster that way. Let's see. Anything else there? I think I said hi to everybody. Um, but other than that, again, I'm a little behind. So I started yesterday working, well, the day before, oh, yesterday. I started working on the Throwback Thursday plus the monthly Christmas card inspiration video stuff, and I didn't quite get it done. Technically, I should have got it done, had it recorded and scheduled before doing this video. So now it's going to be out of sorts and out of order, but those two videos are coming. So the Throwback Thursday is what is it? The Pansy Petal Suite, and then the Christmas card inspiration. I'm combining two stamp sets. One of them is Fragrant Forest, so that's that background stamp with all the trees on it, and then there is the other stamp set. Yeah, so this one here, I know it's probably backwards because that's how YouTube likes to do things. Yeah, backwards. So I'm using this and the Joy to You, which is just these really big readings. So the cards will come together very, very quickly. I just have to do them and then record them. You know, work gets in the way. It doesn't let me get the stuff done. So, but unfortunately, the job is what kind of supports the habit. But anyway, so I do have a few housekeeping items to share with you. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but there is one that's pretty important because it's only valid today and tomorrow, and that's it. So I do have a graphic that I will show you and explain, and then there's a couple of other things that I do want to also speak about as well. So if you get motion sickness, turn away, and I'm going to flip this, and we'll get started. So we'll flip that, bring this down some, and of course you're looking at my ceiling. We don't want the ceiling. Okay, let me make sure everything's good. Oh, okay. Okay. And if she isn't, she knows that she's got the replay. It's all good. That would explain why I didn't get a text message from her. That's all good. All good. Okay, so the last chance products. Yes, there's more stuff that has sold out, but then there's still more stuff available. So the link to take you to where all that is in the online store is in the description. This is what's going on right now. So this is for 2 days only, today and tomorrow. So tomorrow is National Scrapbooking Day, and Stampin' Up is celebrating it by giving this promotion of 2 times the rewards. Uh, it so the Stampin' Rewards had changed. So when you placed a order of $150 or more, you used to get 10% of that. And then as the more you had spent, before the tax and the shipping, if it hit a certain threshold, then the percentage would go up a little bit. So Stampin' Up had, excuse me, um, yeah, she doesn't have to hurry. Oh, yeah, no, 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 no. Terry does not need to rush. She needs to be there. She needs to be there for her friend. It's all good. Terry, we love you. I'm not mad that you're not here when I'm live. That's okay. I totally understand. You're all good, girlfriend. But anyway, so they did away with that aspect, and of course, there was another thing with the rewards where if your order was $450 or more, then you got to choose something at half off. So they did away with that. Even the host codes, they did away with all that. And now, when you place an order starting at $20 and more, you receive 10% of that in Stampin' Rewards, which then you can use them in a future order. So you can use them in the very next order, or you can just hold on to them, let them accumulate, and then you can probably place a bigger order where then you can take those rewards and you can apply it to that order. And the rewards they expire in a year. So whenever you go to redeem them, it's always gonna pull like those rewards that are older. So this is so now instead of 10%, it's going to be 20%. Now it's not, even though they're celebrating National Scrapbooking Day, and that's why they're doing this. It doesn't mean that it's just strictly on scrapbooking products that you would get the 2 times rewards on. It's on everything. The only thing that I saw that it doesn't apply to, so one of the things too that now we get rewards on is the Paper Pumpkin subscriptions. So if you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin either today or tomorrow, you will get 2 times the rewards on that. If you are already a subscriber, you would not. So that's the only thing that I saw that the 2 times the rewards wouldn't apply to. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, again, only on today, the rest of today, and tomorrow. And I did send out now my newsletter. I was going to send that out on Tuesday because that way I can include information about the new kits that they'll have in the kits collection for this month. But I also wanted to let everybody know about this. So earlier today, I did send out like a mini newsletter, I guess you can say, talking about this. It also has the new video list of the stuff of what I'm going to be using. Now on the 6th, I will send out another newsletter, but that newsletter will then not have this on there. It will have information that I'm going to show you here in a little bit. And then it's also going to include the info about the kits as well. So I just want to give you that heads up. And if you would like to be on my monthly newsletter, that link is in the description. Again, I typically only send out one like on the first Tuesday of each month. But when there's things like this that pop up, or like if there's free shipping and we don't know about it in advance, I will then send out another newsletter to let you know about this stuff that's happening. One of the things that Stampin' Up! Has mentioned, so we have 5 new in colors that are coming in. So there is Strawberry Slush, which is a returning color, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, Cloud Cover, and Secret Sea. Now, Cloud Cover is like a very pale uh, grayish blue color, and they have found that for some reason there's like this rare like chemical reaction that's happening between the cloud cover ink and the foam pad. So basically, our newer ink pads, these are foam pads, and there's some reaction to where it's shifting the color of the ink. So they were talking about like for pre-order, or when the catalog goes live, that the bundle pricing for all five of the ink pads would not be available because there was not going to be an ink pad for cloud cover. I mean, they were going to work on it to try to make it right. This something like this happened a few years ago with the purple posy, where it wasn't so much there was the reaction of the ink with the foam pad. It was just something with the ink itself that when you stamped it, now purple posy was a very pale purple, and of course, when your ink dries, it's going to dry a little bit lighter. So with that, it was like it would fade. So you could have stamped something, and then at some point you wouldn't be able to see it because the color just completely faded. So with that, what they had mentioned, so for demonstrators, they're going to make available those full-size ink pads. And of course, it's going to, so for us as demonstrators, it'll be listed under the last chance category in the online store. And again, it'll only be visible, for demonstrators. They're saying that it cannot be added to starter kits. Um, and basically, when it's going to be available while supplies last. So once they're gone, they're gone. Yeah, so they say when it sells out, the item will be discontinued. Let's see. They are, okay, what does it say? The Cloud Cover Classic Stampin' Pad is listed in the 25-26 annual catalog. The digital version of the catalog may include the product for a time, but it will ultimately be updated. We'll post a catalog correction to reflect that. Now, this is the info for demonstrators. Um, so they say, okay, due to the unique circumstances, all cloud cover classic stamping pad sales are final. And this will say in the online store. Uh, let's see what else. Okay, and then they'll have this information about it like on the website. So yeah, they're just saying that the chemistry of the ink and the foam pads is what is not working. Um, let's see. Yeah, they say on here, in this unanticipated act of chemistry, the ink color may shift at times and hold steady at others. As a result, if you choose to purchase a cloud cover classic stamping pad, there's no way to know which shade you'll receive. In fact, if you were to order two, you could very well receive two different shades or two of the same. It says order selection is random and requests for one variation or another cannot be accommodated. Um, Yeah, and then they said, like a fun little fact, they said demonstrators used the shifted cloud cover ink at onstage and loved the color. In fact, many asked if they could purchase it. They say we love a happy accident and are glad both iterations of the hue were well received. Now, for customers, what they're saying is because the actual cloud cover ink formula performs well before it's added to a foam pad, all is not lost for customers who want to get in on the inky action. Our Stampin' Spots are made using felt, and we haven't seen this unpredictable chemical response occur with this material. At the time, the 25-26 annual catalog is available to customers. they will offer the Stampin' Spot assortment pack, which did have an ink spot in there that was cloud cover. Um, and then that product will be available to both customers and demonstrators. It says the cloud cover Stampin' Spot won't be sold outside of the assortment pack, but you can pair the cloud cover classic Stampin' ink refill with the uninked Stampin' Spots to achieve a consistency to achieve a consistently accurate hue. Plus, the ink refill is a very technique-friendly product in general, making it a great course supply to have on hand. They say while these solutions don't provide a full-size ink pad option for customers, they do give them access to the ink, plus they're a great solution for demonstrators too. You can also ink your stamps using the cloud cover Stampin' Right marker available in the 25-27 in color Stampin' Right markers collection. And then this technique works especially well with the cling stamps. So, um, so it says beyond the cloud cover classic Stampin' Pad, which will be available to demonstrators only, all other cloud cover products, including the classic Stampin' Ink refill, will be available for customers and demonstrators to purchase when the catalog launches to customers next week. Unfortunately, the 25-27 in color classic Stampin' Pad bundle will not be available. Instead, the remaining in color shades of Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, and Secret Sea will be available for purchase individually. At this time, there are no plans to create a 4-pad bundle. The bundle will not appear in the online store, even though it's listed in the new catalog. The digital version of the catalog may include it for a time, but then it will ultimately be updated. Um, so then everything else as far as the in-color product collection, so the 8.5 by 11 cardstock assortment and the 6 by 6 designer series paper stack, those will be available. So the way I'm understanding this, that I think for demonstrators, that full-size ink pad, I think will probably be available for our view only when the new catalog goes live. So that's a little bit of information about the cloud cover full-size ink pad. The ink itself just does not work very well with the foam pad for some reason, but it'll work fine on those little felt ink spots. The other thing that they're going to have is they're going to have a starter kit special. This will go from May 6th when the catalog goes live all the way through the 31st. So for this, new demonstrators will get to choose $165 in in US dollars they'll get to choose $165 in product. They'll also receive like business supplies, which will be like catalogs and postcards, and you also will get a whole box of 8 of the new catalogs. And then there's also an older paper pumpkin kit that'll be included as well. So you can see what Paper Pumpkin is all about. And so you'll receive extra in your starter kit, and the price will still be $99 plus tax because the shipping will be free. Now, to be a demonstrator, you don't have to do what I'm doing, building it as a business, doing videos and classes and all that. You could simply join just to receive the discount and then get all those perks that demonstrators would get, like seeing the new catalog early and getting to pre-order new products before they go live to customers. So if you have any questions at all regarding this, I'm more than happy to answer any of them. And then here is the new catalog. Now I cannot open this catalog, not yet. That's against Stampin' Up rules. But if you are here in the US, if you're not working with another demonstrator and you would like a copy of this, simply send me an email. That's linked below, and I'll be sure to get one mailed out to you. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get um, the catalogs done through the catalog mailing that Stampin' Up does. So I have ordered. I do have a box of catalogs here, and I have another box showing up. So when I get them, if anybody wants one, just reach out to me and let me know. Hello, Sharon. Okay, so with that, we're going to get started. So let me get my water out of the way because I don't want to knock this over. Whoa, I almost did. Okay, so what I am going to use tonight, I'm calling it a suite. They don't really list it as a suite. And let me kind of pull this. Oh, I could pull it out. That's why it wasn't looking right. That's why it wasn't looking right. Okay. So I'm calling it a suite because it includes paper. So this was in the January scrapbooking brochure. This is the Everyday Happiness Designer Series paper. So with this paper, the colors in here are Gray Granite, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, Pretty Peacock, Very Vanilla, and Wild Wheat. So the Lost Lagoon and the Pretty Peacock and that Wild Wheat, the colors just work very well together. So this was something that when I did see it, I definitely wanted to get it. I'm a little late to the party because I just recently got it. With this, now you had the option that you can just get the designer series paper, or you can get the designer series paper and a sticker sheet. Again, this was in the scrapbooking brochure, so this was more geared towards scrapbooking. However, it's paper and you can use it in your cards. The stamp and die bundle that they have in here is the Everyday You and Me. So in the stamp sets that they have for the scrapbooking, your greetings that are in it, they are a little bit larger than what you would see for cards. However, they still do work on your cards. So they're a little bit bigger. As a matter of fact, we're going to use this greeting and this greeting on 2 of the cards. But you can see some of the images are also a little bit bigger as well. So we're going to be using this now. Again, I call it a suite because you have the bundle plus you got the paper. Now there's no embellishments that were part of this. So I'm just going to call it a suite because I guess I can. So let me bring in the pieces for our first card. And we'll set that aside. Now there are some things that I will be using that are retiring, but I did check and they were still out there. So if you want it, it's still going to be out there. Okay. I just can't guarantee how long it's going to be there. So let me my thing here. All right. So let me bring up my what do you call it? My dimensions and all that. So for the PDF, I still have to finish putting that together. So I'm thinking that when I'm done with my live, I'll probably work on that and get that done and get it posted. And then I think I'll probably be working on my Throwback Thursday and that monthly Christmas card inspiration videos as well and try and get them done and uploaded so that way they're out there for all of you. Okay, so for my card base, we're using basic white thick. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4.25. I have a piece of Lost Lagoon cardstock that measures 5.25 by 4. I have a piece of that Everyday Happiness Designer Series paper. This measures 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. I have a piece of Wild Wheat cardstock. Yes, I am using it even though it's gone and I only have one full package left of this cardstock. And I'm very sad that I wasn't able to get more before it sold out. So this piece of wild wheat measures 4 by 1 3/4. And then I have another piece of that Everyday Happiness Designer Series paper. This measures 3 3/4 by 1.5. And then ahead of time, I had stamped 2 of the leaf images, excuse me, in gray granite ink on basic white, and then I die cut those ahead of time. So I'm going to take my card, I'm going to fold and burnish it, and let me get my bone folder, and I'll make that a little bit bigger. So hopefully tonight I don't have any problems with the video on my laptop freezing up. That was the first time that has ever happened. And again, you know, because the video was still processing, I mean, it's possible it would have been fine, but I didn't want to take a chance that, you know, it wasn't. So I redid it, but it was also a little bit shorter as well. So that was kind of a good thing. All right, so I'm going to use my seal and I'm going to adhere this Designer Series paper to my piece of Lost Lagoon. So these cards are fairly simple cards. One of them's a little more over the top than the others. And that's because I was actually designing these cards today. Kid you not, today. Because, you know, having to physically go into work, you know, by the time I get home, I'm tired and I just have no desire to really do anything. So that's why it's not done. Okay, so one of the things that I am going to use for this card, this is the Lost Lagoon Soft Cording. This was part of the Utterly Amazing suite of products. Now, that suite, what's interesting is that you had your Stampin' and Die bundle. There's the Designer Series paper. There's the Lost Lagoon cording. And then there are these embellishments. Let me see, do I got it right here? Or do I have to dig for it? I'll probably have to dig for it, and it would take too much time to try and find it. Yeah, it's somewhere in here. I just don't see it right offhand. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Okay, but it had embellishments, it had this cording, there was Designer Series paper, and there was the bundle. Well, the bundle is actually on the last chance list. So you have the bundle and then you have the stamp and the set of dies. Now, if it's something that you're interested in, do not order the bundle number because that's already discounted 10% and they're not going to discount that anymore. However, if you order the stamp set and the set of dies separately, they are marked down. So ultimately, the price together would be cheaper than if you bought the bundle. And that's the same for some of those bundles that are going away. If there's something you see that you like, you know, check out to see what the pricing is of the individual stamp set and the set of dies, because you probably get a better deal on it that way. So, but the interesting thing, like I said, the stamp set and the set of dies, those are retiring, yet the designer series paper, the cording, and those other embellishments are still available, and they'll be in the online exclusives. So for this cording, it's very pretty. First off, I really like that color, and it's a little blurry, probably because I'm too close to it. I'm going to cut a piece of this, and we're going to wrap this around this layer. So I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to wrap it around, and I'm going to tape it down. And let me get my Scotch tape. And I want to try and get this about the middle. I do know what I'm doing. I haven't forgotten. So this is gonna be glued down to the card base, but I want to make sure that that cording is going to stay down. And wrap this around. So when they had, when Stampin' Up! Had free shipping last week, I did take advantage of that, and I do have some new product. Most of it, I think, is actually online exclusive. I can't, it's hard to tell really what's online exclusive and what's new catalog, especially when you didn't have the physical catalog yet, because they're bringing out so much, and I just can't keep track of it. I don't know if anybody else has that issue or not, but okay, so I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of this, and I will adhere this down to my card base. Let me make sure that I'm putting it on the right way. One of the cards that, the last card that I'm making, the sample, I got them putting it all together, and then it turns out I put it on the card upside down. Yeah, the cards don't open from the left, they open from the right. But luckily I was able to get all of that unattached without damaging any of the paper or the cardstock. So I was able to salvage that. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to set that aside. On this piece of designer series paper, I'm going to bring in a piece. I'm also going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. I do have two of these, and for some reason, I don't know where the other one is. It's probably on the desk, which is a big hot mess at the moment. I gotta take some time, and I really gotta clean this space up. Yvonne knows what it looks like. Terry knows what it looks like. All right, so on this, okay, what do I want to do on here? So I want to stamp the love every moment greeting, and then I got there's these little tiny dots. I'm going to stamp that as well. And this one, I'm not adding any flowers on this particular card. I do have them on the other two. So I do have those leaves though, that will end up using that. Let's see. These little itty bitty dots. Okay, oh, Another stamp. So there's a lot of stamps in here that you can do just like little decorative backgrounds on it. So you got these 3 different sized grouping of dots. And then you have like this, like, looks like just a painted stripe. So we're going to use that piece too. You know, doing the cards upside down, I mean, yeah, it could be something funny. I mean, everybody's done it at least once. As a matter of fact, I actually did it on a live. If you were here when I did, what was it? Which one is it? Oh, shoot. Oh, Umbrella Days. Yeah, if you watched Umbrella Days, I actually put it all together right here on live, upside down. All right, ink. I want, of course, it's the one on the bottom. I want my pretty Peacock. And then I'm also going to bring in the gray granite as well. And Moss Lagoon. I really, I think the wild wheat just really goes really well with that. I think as soon as I saw like this paper, I'm like, I instantly was drawn to it and knew that at some point I needed to get it. So chances are I'm probably going to end up getting another pack of that paper as well. And I'm going to be better than I have been in the past. And I'm actually going to use it and not hoard it, because Lord knows I got enough paper here. But it's really pretty paper. All right. So then we're going to take this greeting here in our pretty Peacock ink. And we'll ink this up. Again, these greetings are a little bit larger than what you would see for most of the other sets for card making, because this is more, they're gearing it more towards scrapbooking, but you can still make it work. I forget what it was. There was one that was an autumn one where I literally made cards using the stamp set, and it had large greetings on it, and it worked. So I mean, it's basically you're using the same supplies on it, right? So it works. All right, then I'm going to take this gray granite. I'm going to ink up this little like brush type image here. I'm going to ink it up. And I'm going to stamp it off. And then I'm going to stamp right over the words like so. So it just kind of highlights it a little bit. And then moment, being that it is a longer word, I'm going to stamp this twice. Like so. So it gives a little bit of a different interest on it. And then I'm going to bring in the Lost Lagoon ink. And my tiny, tiny dots. I'm going to stamp it off. And I'm going to stamp it like 3 times in each of these corners. So I'm just sprucing up the designer series paper that has a really nice design on it, white and a little bit of the wild wheat. Now this paper also has some of the Lost Lagoon on it on the other end of the paper. So did anybody here well, Have you dealt with the storms? I know Tracy, I think Springfield would have gotten some of that weather. Cleveland was getting, they were getting hail and all of that. I was watching Ryan Hall for a good chunk of the day. Here, all we got, so this morning I went to take out my garbage and there was just like these very puffy, dark clouds. It started to sprinkle some as I was out, but nothing really transpired with it. And then it was much later in the day, I think maybe like around 1:30 or so. Then there was some thunder and we got some heavy rain. And yeah, it didn't last very long. And then that was kind of the end of it. Like Middle Tennessee, Nashville, they got hit with it pretty hard. And then down south in like Alabama, they were getting the weather in Ohio and I think Kentucky, and but we didn't really get much of anything. I mean, the only thing that we're going to um I think for the rest of the night I think we're just supposed to get like some rain, but they're not saying that it's going to be like any storms or anything. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, Becky, that all that bad weather, yeah, it's kind of like north of us, and but we were kind of like on that border, but nothing severe happened here. I mean, it didn't get bad, and I wasn't worried that I wouldn't be able to do my live, or if I would have like had to start early, just to prevent having the power go out on me, but there's no need for it. I mean, it wasn't really doing anything out there when I first started. Okay, so now that I've stamped on my designer series paper, I'm going to adhere this to this piece of Wild Wheat cardstock. So there's a bigger border on this than what I have on this piece here. Okay, and then I'm going to add some dimensionals. Now I'm not going to put any dimensionals in the middle because I got that cording that's going to go, that this is going to go over. So I'll just add some dimensionals on the top and bottom. Okay, and then on these little leaves here, I'm going to bring in my glue dots. Oh, you're back? I didn't even know that you left, Yvonne. Okay, so I'm going to add some glue dots on the back of my leaves. Put those down there. Okay. We're done with those. Okay, and then I'll take these backings off. Okay. All right, so then this is gonna be centered right over that cording. But what I want to do is I'm going to place this down, but I don't want to press it down really hard, not yet, because I want to take these leaves and I want to tuck them. Oops, I want to tuck them over in these corners first. And those dimensionals are right there on those corners. Okay, now I can press that all down. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to add just like a really quick brushing on the leaves. I'm not going to worry about covering the entire leaf. Just want to add a little bit of sparkle to it. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in that cording again, and I'm going to tie a little bow. I'm going to put this on underneath my greeting piece. This really is pretty. I really like this color. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my snips because we don't need these tails to be that long. Okay. And we'll put that in there. We'll get the glue dots. And then we'll add on our bow. And then we'll place this right here underneath our greeting like so. And then one more bit of embellishment that we're going to use now. These are on the last chance list and they are still available. I believe they are discounted. These were part of, they were part of a suite. This, what is it? There were like those Christmas labels, you know, the fancy labels. And I think that pretty, what was it, Cherry Cobbler, Pretty Peacock, Mossy Meadow, Cherry Cobbler, that paper that has the gold foiling in it, that paper actually carried over. But these are going away. So these are, what are these? These are the gold texture adhesive back dots. But when I see it, they look like they'll match up with the wild wheat really well. So we're going to use these. And these embellishments have 3 different sizes in it. So I'll use one of each. So that was the large one. One, and then we got a small one. And that's it on that card. So this one is a pretty simple and quick card to put together, and I really like how those colors kind of work together. Okay, let's get the stuff for our second card. So this one stepped up a little bit more. Okay, so bring in all my pieces. And let me, okay, come on. Let me do this. Okay, so for the second card, I have a piece of Lost Lagoon. This measures 11 by 4 1/4. I scored it at 5 1/2, and then after scoring it, on one end, I trimmed off 1 1/4 inches off of this one end here. So when this folds over, you're going to see part of your card base on there. And then for the inside of that card, I have a piece of basic white that's 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a piece of Pretty Peacock. This measures 4 by 4. And then one of the patterns from that Everyday Happiness Designer Series paper. This is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. I have another piece of that Designer Series paper. This measures 4 by 1 1/4. And then out of a scrap piece of white, I had die cut one of the stylish shaped circles. And then I had stamped the two floral images from the stamp set, one in Lost Lagoon, the other in Wild Wheat. And then a scrap piece of Pretty Peacock. I punched that out using the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. And that's all our bits and pieces for this. So I'm going to take this designer series paper. I'm going to add some liquid glue to the back of it. And I'm going to adhere it down on this one side of this basic white cardstock. And I need to add more glue to this bottle because it's getting about empty. So did any of you take advantage of the free shipping that, was it 3 days last week that they did the free shipping? The one thing, if you, I don't know if you noticed, but like really recently when it comes to placing orders, so you can do expedited, you know, you pay more to do the expedited, you know, to have it sent out like the same day. That's if you do it before, what is it, 11 a.m. Central Time, not Central Time, but Mountain Time. And you don't even need to do that because when I placed, well, I'm going to admit that I placed more than one order and it was shipped the same day. So save some money and not get expedited shipping to get it sooner. So that worked out pretty good. All right, so I'm going to take this card base. I'm going to fold and burnish it. Yeah. Yeah, it would. All right. This piece here, I'm getting distracted. I'm going to adhere this to the inside. Like so. Okay, and then I'm going to take this designer series paper and I'm going to adhere that to the Pretty Peacock piece. And then I will adhere it onto the top of my card front. Okay, center that. Okay, and then I'm going to take my white stylish shape die cut and I'm going to bring in my pierce mat. And then for this one, I want to pull in the greeting that says "So much joy." Where is it? Yes, that's the best thing to do, Tracy. The cardstock before it goes up. All right. So now, what do I want? I want my Pretty Peacock ink. And let's get a block. And we'll ink this up. And we'll stamp this right in the middle. Oh, okay. I'm just reading what Froggy said. We were a couple days before and then found, yeah. Yeah, that, you know, that just stinks that they're jacking up the price like that on the cardstock. I'm especially not happy about the regular basic white, you know, dropping the sheet count from 40 to 24, and yet you're going to charge more than, you know, what it was when you got 40 sheets. I just think that's so wrong. Just saying. All right, so then I'm going to bring in my glue and I'm going to adhere this to that pretty peacock punched out circle. Okay, so put that aside. Actually, we'll put some dimensionals on this. Hey, Mia. All right, and then we're going to place this right in the middle of our card like so. And then on these two flowers that I had already stamped and die cut, I'm going to bring in dimensional, and I'm going to place that, I want to place this right here, so I'm going to put it on this end that's going to hang off of this circle. And then we'll add just a little bit of adhesive to that so that way it'll stay stuck to the card. So I'll put that right there. And then on my wild wheat one, we're going to overlap that a little bit. So I'm going to put two over on this side. And we'll add just a little bit of adhesive over on this end. And then we'll place that like so. And then another item that I'm going to use that's on the last chance list. This is the pretty peacock and gold metallic ribbon. And I believe this is still available as well. I really like this ribbon. Again, I was late to the party getting it, but it's very, very pretty. And I'm going to make a little bow. I'm going to try to have my tails be more even with the bow itself rather than, you know, having them come down. Okay, and then grab the scissors. And our glue dots. And then we'll place this right on the side here. And then we got one more bit of embellishing to do. Well, first we got Wink of Stella. Let's bring that in. And we'll brush some on these flowers. Okay. And then we're going to bring in those gold textured adhesive back dots. And we'll add some of these on here as well. So there is the second card. So I don't know if you would call this a fun fold or not, but it's just a little bit different than a regular card. So there is our second one. I think this paper is what makes these cards, you know, just like awesome, in my opinion. So this one, the third one, our last one, a little more stepped up. It's actually the first one that I ended up putting together. And then the other two, of course, they came after the fact. I was starting to run out of time, so I needed to get them done so I can take pictures and everything, so I can do the, you know, the graphic and everything for the video. Okay, so my card base, this is pretty Peacock. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of the, so this is the other side of that paper from the first card that we did. You can see there's some of that Lost Lagoon on one end and then some of the wild wheat on the other. So this piece, this one measures 4 1/4 by 3. I have another piece that measures 3 7/8 by 1.5. And then added some white scraps of cardstock. There are like 4 different sized flowers in this stamp set. So I have one of the large ones. There's a medium sized one, and then 2 of these smaller ones. I have done those. Those are going to actually be they're going to go on top of the bigger blooms. And then I did some more of the leaves. So I did one of each of the leaf images in the gray granite ink. And then these 2 little flower images, I used my Stampin' Write markers. So this one, the wild wheat, is part of the 2325 Stampin' the in colors, and then the gray granite is part of the neutrals. So I used my markers and I just colored the image of, well, the stamped image. I can't talk. It should. Oh, you tell me to slow down? No, we're almost done. We're good. It's just like I said. You start recording, and then words are hard, and you get tongue twisted and all that. So, but anyway, I used the brush tips on the Stampin' Write markers, and I colored the image with those because I wanted my blooms to be in wild wheat, and then I wanted to do the leaves in the gray granite. So that's how I got the 2 different colors on that image. So I did 2 of those flower images, and again, all die cut. Then this this piece was die cut using the Nested Essentials dies. And I had, well, first I had stamped this greeting in Pretty Peacock, and then this greeting that comes from the Mixed Labels stamp set. This has some really nice greetings in it, This is part of the, is it Mixed Media Florals suite? So it's a larger suite. It's got 2 stamp and die bundles in it, along with paper and embellishments, and I think even an embossing folder as well. So really neat stamp set. So I stamped "Your kindness made my day," and then I punched out with the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. This is a piece of wild wheat. After I punched it out, I then embossed it using the Cane Weave 3D embossing folder. Now this is one that is going away. I don't know if it's still in stock or not, but yeah, again, late on getting this embossing folder. And so I just embossed this circle with that ahead of time. Okay, so basically we're just gonna assemble. There's nothing that we need to stamp on there because I already did it in advance, so I can die cut it. Okay, so we'll fold and burnish this card base. Now let's make sure the card's going the right way, because I didn't realize it was this way, and I started putting everything on that. So let's make sure it's the right way. Okay, I'm going to take this larger piece of the Designer Series paper. I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of this. Okay, and then we'll center this like so. And then the other piece, I'm going to add some adhesive to that. All right, and then this piece is going to go, put it about here. Okay, and then this embossed circle, actually this is the back. Add some adhesive to that, and then we'll place this, let's see, right over here. And then we'll take the greeting piece, add some adhesive to that. And let's see, this will kind of go up here. I'm not going to stick this down fully, at least not yet. Okay, then I'm going to take, so these 2 smaller blooms that I had stamped, I am going to crumple these up. So I'll crumple them, undo them, and then crumple them again. Okay, so we add a little bit of dimension by doing that. So everybody, next Friday, yeah, next Friday. Hold on a second. Yeah, so next Friday, actually that stamp set that I just showed you, that's part of that Mixed Media Florals suite. That's what I'm going to be doing next Friday. And also next Friday, it just so happens it's Mia's birthday. So next week she'll have a card coming to her. All right, so we have this one all crumpled up too. And then we're going to take some glue dots. Well, I did use glue dots, right? Yeah, I used glue dots. And I'm going to double up the glue dots. This is going to give it just a little bit of lift. And then I'm just going to stick that down right in the center of that larger bloom. And then I'm going to stick this one down to that medium sized one. Of course I remember. I have to write everything down, Mia. I mean, how many years have I been doing birthday cards for all you? It's been a while, ever since what, at least August of 2016 when I started there. Okay, so we have those. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals to the backs of these. Okay, and I'll take these backings off. I'll basically put all my, between dimensionals, glue dots, I'll put that on my pieces, so then that way I can place everything down at the same time. So on the flowers, I'm going to use my little ones. And I'm just going to add them on the back of those flowers. Okay, and then on these leaves, I'm going to add glue dots to the back. Whoa, keep hitting the lamp. Add some glue dots to the back of this. Whoops, that one. Okay, so now we're going to assemble this card. All right. So we're going to place our larger flower like right over here. And then this little leaf is going to get tucked right back there. We got this one to go over here. Oh, the leaf will be over there, and then these flowers, we'll take one, we'll tuck it there, and this other one right, oops, don't pick that up, right over there. So let me make sure that's straight, and then I'll just press everything down. Make sure don't go nowhere. And then again, we'll bring in the Wink of Stella and some of those gold textured dots as well. This does pull some of that wild wheat ink up. So let me brush that off and then we'll come in. Yeah, so I want to get a little more of the Wink Costella on it, so I'm actually putting it in the cap to do that. You definitely don't want to do that over your project. I think this one's about empty, because I'm not getting much out of it. Not a whole lot. I have another pen over here, but that one is like very, very, I want to say inky. And I'm worried about that it would leave a big puddle, and we don't want that. All right, so let's bring these dots in again. And add a few of these. Like so. So there is the third card. So I got a little bit of interest with just kind of popping up these other blooms on top of the larger one. So I really like that one. Okay. Hour and 36 minutes. And I think it was like 40 minutes of talking in the very beginning. So not bad, right? But now we got a drawing to do. So with that being said, I'm going to tidy up this area a little bit. While I do that, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and add your name to the spreadsheet. I got the link pinned up at the top of the chat box. And if you're having any issues at all trying to do that, just say something in the chat box, and someone can add your name on there. And I'll bring in the card so you can see all the pretties. So here's the first card that we had made. So this one a little more simpler. And I forget who it was that said it, that yes, this would make a good masculine card. No flowers on it. So, and then our second card, a little bit different, just cut off a little piece of the one end on it. And then here is our third card. So a little more detail on this one. Okay. So go ahead and add your names. And I'm going to tidy this up in the meantime. What do I do with it? No. I tend to lose things very easily. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, everyone, for the kind words. And I want to say thank you also for joining me and watching the videos and liking it and sharing and all the other stuff that you do. I mean, I truly appreciate it. You know, there are times that, you know, I'll be honest that, you know, I'm so tired that it's like, you know, putting together the projects and everything. But it's all of you that kind of keep me going on doing this, because this is the stuff that, you know, you like these videos, you look forward to, especially when we're going live. And even when I do the pre-recorded stuff, you know, like the Throwback Thursdays, I get a lot of feedback on that as well. People like that I bring out the old retired stuff because they still have it, and it gives them some inspiration on what to do with it. So I did cut back a little bit, like I was doing an additional like holiday video, but then I thought, you can always do your Throwback Thursday or your Friday Night Live, kind of going along with that holiday. So I kind of cut those out, so it was a little bit less. So, but yeah, at the moment I'm going to continue to do this as long as you guys keep coming back. All right, we got that. Thank you, Deborah. Okay, let's take a peek. So right now, Froggy, Becky, Deborah, Stacy, Sharon, and Tracy are on here. Is there anybody else who would like to be added? Mia, you still here? Would you like your name added? Okay. Okay, I'll add you on there. Okay. Is there anybody else? Okay, let me just take this stuff and move this out of the way. Don't need this stuff anymore. All right, so I think we got, do we got everybody? Carol, do you want to be added? Let's see. Okay. All right, and I think we have everybody. I think we got everybody else. We miss Terry. That I know she'll come back. She'll watch the replay. Love you, Terry. We miss you already. Okay, so I'm gonna move these out of the way. So 1, 2, and 3. Let me add these names now. So I got Froggy, Becky, Deborah, Stacy, Sharon, Tracy, and Mia. So I'll add your names to the wheel. And let me close this. And we'll make this bigger. And let's see. All right. Let me unplug this. Let me move the lights out of the way because we know what happens when I bring the laptop in. It just reflects off of it. Okay, so We're going to go ahead and we're going to spin. Deborah. Which one would you like? Which card would you like, Deborah? Okay, Vaughn. See you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. You still with us, Deborah? Are you still with us, Deborah? I'll give it just a few more seconds. And if I don't see her pop on, then I will give her the last card that's left. Put that out of the way. Okay. Oh, it's not there, right? No. All right. So let me spin again. Stacy. You still with us, Stacy? I got all these little post-it notes that I got like some duplicates of names on here. Are you still on, Stacy? Okay. I don't know if she's still here or not. Just give it a couple more seconds. See if Stacy responds. If she's not here, then what I'll do after I do the third drawing, then I'll just, randomly choose the other two between Stacy and Deborah. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. All right. Let me spin this one more time. Mia. I know Mia's here. I saw her comment. Which one would you like, Mia? The first one? Okay. All right. So then what I'll do is, so on Tuesday, I will I won't mail yours and Stacy's card. I will bring it to work and I will hand deliver it to you. And then I'll do a random pick between Stacy and Deborah for these two cards right here. Okay, so let me kind of move this stuff out of the way and let's kind of just wrap this up. Move these. Okay, and I'll put this back over here. It's weird when you look at this when I have it down. It's like it just like a tunnel type of thing going on. All right, so thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Well, we didn't do too bad. We're under 2 hours. It's an hour and 52 minutes. So it's still a little late to be having dinner, but it is what it is. So again, thank you everyone for joining me. Again, if you're interested, there is that two times the Stampin' Rewards that is going on for the rest of tonight, and then also tomorrow. So I believe it will be done and over with at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you want to take advantage of that, now if you don't have an account set up, if you don't create one, then you won't be able to accumulate any of the rewards. So you would want to do that if you didn't already do so. And I think that's it. So I will have this Throwback Thursday with the Pansy Petal Suite and then that monthly Christmas card inspiration. I'm going to work on those probably tonight and try and get them done and posted. So things are going to look a little out of whack again this week. So I'm going to get that done. Also, there will be a newsletter going out on the 6th. It's gonna, for the most part, it'll look very similar to what I sent out today, but instead it's gonna have a couple of extra things on there, like the starter kit promotion, and it'll just show the new catalog rather than the ones that are going away, and then it'll also include the kits collections on there as well. And then what else? And then next Friday I will be live. I will be using the Mixed Media's Floral Suite. That's an online exclusive that It's not on the last chance list at all, so we'll be using that, what do you call it, on next Friday. So thank you, everyone. If you can, if you like the video, please give the video a thumbs up. That really does help, not only in growing this channel, but also, getting YouTube to put me out there so more people can see what it is that I am doing. And subscribe if you haven't already done so, and then hit that little notification bell. That'll let you know whenever I upload a pre-recorded video or when I go live. So everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.